Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe out there. I did manage to pick up a few more records before we were all confined to our houses and apartments, so I thought I'd share them with you here. You may remember in another video I mentioned that I was also a fan of rap and hip-hop, but didn't have too much in my collection just yet. The majority of my rap records so far have consisted of MF Doom, Tribe Called Quest, Run DMC, Wu-Tang Clan, Kendrick Lamar, and a few others, so I was really itching to get some more, and that caused me to pick these up. First up is Deltron 3030. For those who don't know, this was a collaboration project between Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Dan the Automator, and Kid Koala. Honestly, if you're any kind of a science fiction fan, even if hip-hop isn't really your bag per se, I'd still give this one a try. Between the excellent mixing, Del's amazing lyrical ability, this one's pretty great. 3030, Things You Can Do, and Positive Contact are probably the ones that get stuck in my head the most. This next one probably won't even need an introduction for many, but it's Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. It's still hard to imagine that this group started up in 1985, that's, count 'em, 2 years before I was even born, and had such an impact. Lyricism has always impressed me, and some of the songs that Terminator X ended up using as samples also surprised me, particularly Slayer's Angel of Death in She Watched Channel Zero. Or, at least it seemed weird to me at first, until I remembered that Slayer's Rain and Blood album was also on Def Jam Records, so it did make a little sense. And of course, who could forget Flava Flav and his more direct approach at getting out the same messages as Chuck. At some point, I'd love to get Fear of a Black Planet as well, but for now, this'll do nicely. And the last of my hip-hop binge this month is another album that really needs no introduction. Yes, Tupac is pretty much unavoidable if you're getting into hip-hop, and this is considered by many to be the place to start, and with good reason. The 90s brought out one heck of a lineup for new rappers, especially on the West Coast, and this was just about the cream of the crop. Even if you don't listen to rap, you have probably heard many of the songs that are on this album before, like Only God Can Judge Me, California Love with Dr. Dre, Can't See Me, Picture Me Rollin'. I mean, the list just goes on and on. This thing, the way they packaged this is interesting to me. So this is actually a massive 4-disc set, as you can see here. But they chose to go the approach of stacking 2 records on top of each other on both of these gatefold sleeves. That's a bit of a pet peeve of mine, but thankfully nothing came damaged, at least as far as I can tell. I played it back and it all seemed okay. But as I was saying, you pretty much can't start a hip-hop collection without including this album in it. It's just that important. And with all that said, I did pick up one more release that I'd been looking forward to for a long time. Getting back into the metal side of things, I picked up the new reissue of Dio's 2000 album, Magica. After 2 really experimental and consequently polarizing albums from Dio, he finally returned to form with this release, having fans regard it as one of his best to everybody's surprise. I would definitely put it in a top 3 position myself. As you can see here, it also came with this neat little lithograph on the cover. It's removable, you can remove it, but I'm a little nervous to do that right now because I never trust the sticky stuff that they have holding it together, and I don't want to break it. It also came with this little 7-inch here, which has the song Electra on it. That song had previously only been put out on a best-of release before this one on CD, and then I think that was it. I've never heard the other vinyl releases before this one, but I can definitely say that this transfer was done surprisingly well, and I didn't have any major issues when listening to it or playing it back on my end. All in all, I'm just glad to see that this album finally got the treatment that it truly, truly deserves. And that's gonna do it for this video. Like I said, it wasn't too much on my end, but it's the few things I managed to pick up before we all got locked into our houses. Did you manage to pick anything up before the pandemic? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all again soon.